exercise, a system of control and effort to it, right? Deepening the in-breath, filling the body and the lungs, and the heart, the throat, and then lengthening your out-breath, releasing the air from the body and even beginning to relax muscles or any other parts that feel as if they're holding on to resistance or tension. Let it go. We'll take a couple of those deep dynamic breaths together. I like to call them cleansing breaths, where you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling those long exhales out through your mouth. So wherever you are, go ahead and exhale all the air out of the body. Empty it out. And now, deeply inhale into the belly, the ribs, upper chest and throat, pausing at the top. And now exhale out through the mouth. Release it all out. 2 more cleansing breaths, just like that. Deeply inhaling into the belly, the rib cage, upper chest and throat, pausing. Now open the mouth and exhale it out. Even adding a ha or a if that feels good. Last time, full inhale into the belly, ribs, chest, and throat. Pause and then open the mouth and exhale it out. Good. Continue breathing in that pattern, that conscious pattern of inhaling into the belly, the ribs, and the upper chest. And then exhaling back out through the chest, the ribs, and the belly. That 3-part breathing technique. Keep it going and then draw the hands together towards the heart. A prayer-like gesture. Stay soft in the shoulders, the jaw. And when you're ready, as you inhale, press the palms together and lift the arms above head. You exhale, relax the arms all the way out to the side with the palms turned up. Good. Synchronizing your breath with the movement. Inhale, float the arms back, around, and up. Exhale the palms together back down to the heart in a prayer-like gesture. Good. Again, inhale into the belly, ribs, chest, extending the arms up, stretching through the sides. And as you exhale, release the arms all the way out. This time, bring the arms behind you and grab opposite elbows or the opposite wrists, whatever feels good. Remember, never forcing or pushing any posture movements. Keep breathing. Reestablish your inner lift. Once again, extend up through the spine. As you do so, feel for the sides of your ribs and chest lengthen up at the same time. Very subtle movement. An inner expansion. Lift up through the center of chest. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, lower the right ear towards the right shoulder. Continue to breathe. Tuck the chin slightly down. And actively draw the forearms down towards the floor. Feeling the shoulder blades hug in towards each other. Again, also a very small movement. And continue to breathe. We're taking 2 more rounds of breath. 3-part breathing. Breathing into the belly first, then the ribs, upper chest. Breathing it out in reverse. 1 more round. Good. With your next inhale, slowly lift the head back to neutral. Exhale to relax. Inhale, lift up through the center of chest. Exhale, lower your left ear towards the left shoulder. Gently tucking the chin downward. Continue to breathe. Also gently, still drawing those forearms down towards the floor, and send your breath into all spaces of the body, not just the neck or the shoulders, that are speaking to you, right? That are offering you some sensation. Could be the legs, lower back, heart. One more deep round of breath. And with your next in-breath, you slowly bring the head back to neutral. With an exhale, relax your arms back out. Give them a little shake. Keep breathing, and right away, move into some shoulder rotations. It doesn't matter which direction you go. You can synchronize with your breath if that feels good. Slowing it down even more so that you can feel more. Maybe even closing the eyes. Good. Then now move in the opposite direction. So just lubricating through the rotator cuff, even into the spaces along the sides of your neck, right? Those neck flexor muscles. Now invoking some more energetic movement to and from the heart into the arms and upper back. And then relax as you exhale. Shake out your arms. Good. Now straighten your legs out and shake out the legs. Good. And now I have a strap today, but if you don't have a strap, that's okay. I'm going to gently stretch legs and arms at the same time by separating the legs wider than the hips. Soft bend in the knees here. And if you do have a strap, take it in both hands. Good. Now, preparing the legs. So actively flex the feet back and lengthen forward through the heels. If you have a strap in both hands, inhale to lift the arms above head. If you don't have a strap, just turn the palms inward so they face each other. Exhale, soft bend in the elbows. And pull the ribs in, engaging abdominals. With an inhale, straighten the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, pull the ribs in, strong core. Pull yourself down over to the right, yet keep the center of your chest lifting up towards the sky. Keep breathing here. With an inhale, bring the arms back up. And exhale, gently pulling down to the left. Lifting up through the center of your chest. Just a very subtle side bend. Tapping into that right shoulder. Even the chest muscles, the pectoralis, they're on the front side of your chest. Activating your legs, strong legs. One more inhale. Good. Exhale. Let's come back to center. Lower the arms all the way down to the floor. Good. Right away, go ahead and bend the left knee. And keep the strap handy if you have one. And if you have room to go, gently draw the right leg out to the right a little bit more. You're going to feel a stretch already in that inner thigh. Flex the foot, flex both feet actually. Good. If you have a strap, again, now bring it into the hands. With a deep inhale, float the arms above head. If you don't have a strap, just turn the palms inwards. And as you exhale, start to twist to the right. And then fold, lowering the belly on top of the thigh, bringing the arms down. If you have a strap, creating a resistance by pulling the strap in opposite directions. Good. Breathe here. With your next inhale, right away, float the arms back up, lift up through the chest. Then exhale, come back to neutral. Good. And lower the hands down. Nice. Release the strap off to the side. I'm going to move into a lift. I'm going to lift the butt and the hips off the floor. Place the left hand behind the hip on the floor, so behind you. And turn that extended legs foot down to the floor. So go slow. As you're ready, sweep the right arm around and up and lift the butt off the floor. Open the abdomen and the chest up towards the sky. So you press the hips forward. Maybe let the head just hang heavy. Now actively ground down through your right foot. Good. Breathing here. One more full body inhale, inhaling into the belly, the ribs, the chest. And with an exhale, nice and slow, lower yourself back down. Good. And then we're going to switch sides. Take your time. So remember, this side could be different. Absolutely use blankets. If you need to pad yourself, you can sit on top of a blanket. And now extending the left leg. Shift it over to the left, just to a position that feels right. Don't force or push anything. Flex the foot, maybe a soft bend in the knee. If you had a strap, go ahead and grab it in both hands. And then as you're ready, reestablish your inner lift, so grow tall. With your next inhale, float the arms above your head. And exhale, now twist to the left and fold. The fold coming from the hip joint. Pull the strap in opposite directions. So you're engaging your upper back muscles here, and then you can lower it down. Keep extending the spine forward. If you don't have a strap, you can just rest the hands to the floor. One more inhale. Exhale any hot air through the mouth. And then inhale, lift up, lift the arms, and reach up through the center of your chest. Exhale, turn it back to center. Lower the strap back down. Good. Going nice and slow, yeah? Putting the strap off to the side. Now we're going to lift up. Place your right hand behind the hip on the floor. As you're ready, and just go slow, you begin to ground down already before you even go anywhere by turning the left foot down to the floor. And as you're ready, deep inhale, sweep the arm around and up. Lift up the hips, press the pelvis forward, opening the belly and the chest up towards the ceiling. Let the head hang heavy and breathe. Continue to ground down through the left foot, especially the outer edge of the left foot. One more full body inhale. And then exhale nice and slow, lower down. Good. Now, take your time, straighten the legs out in front of you. We shake them out. And then softly bend the knees, grabbing your strap. And again, you don't really need one, but it's always nice extension of your arms if you have a strap. Place it around the balls of your feet. Moving into a forward fold. Begin to extend your legs out in front. And a little slippery. Okay, stay there. Soft bend in the knees. Flex the feet back. So again, flexing the feet engages the backside leg muscles, which stabilizes the knee joints and the ankle joints, and even helps to protect the hips. Soft bend in the knees, yeah. And the more you bend the knees, the more you're able to maximize extension of your spine as you move into the folds. Okay. So whenever you're ready, as you inhale, lift up through the spine, reach the crown of your head up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, hinge forward through the hip joint, lowering the pelvis, towards the thighs. If you're using a strap, you can use some of your arm strength to pull the abdomen forward towards the thighs even more. Keep the back flat so the spine stays neutral. If you find that you are kind of caving in the upper back starts to round forward, then simply back off. You can lift back away. And breathe wherever you are. Explore with your breath. Remember, your breath is going to guide your exploration, how deep you can go. So find some stillness and find a 3-part breath. Full deep inhales into the belly, rib cage, and upper chest. Long exhales out in reverse. Keep breathing and begin to draw the outer edges of your shoulder blades together and down your back. You're going to feel that activation of muscles, various muscles across your upper back when you do that. Hugging the shoulder blades in together, then down the back. Take 2 more rounds of breath. And when you're ready, take an inhale. Slowly lift up through the spine. Release the strap off to the side. Shake out your legs. Lower down. Now grab your noodle. Position the ball noodle right underneath where you feel the shoulder blades will be. So the center of the shoulder blades. And of course, it might take a couple of adjustments getting once you're down there. If you're just using 1 or 2 tennis balls, you can put it just to the left and or just to the right of your spine. Okay. So right away, targeting upper back, thoracic region, beneath the heart center, center of shoulder blades. Relax the arms off to the side once you find a nice spot. Step the feet hips width apart. Just giving into the natural force of gravity, letting it draw the body down. Releasing the lower back and the sacrum. And finding your breath again. A little bit easier to access that deep diaphragmatic breathing when we're lying down. So begin to practice that exaggerated 3-part breath. Inhaling, expanding the belly like a balloon, and expanding the ribs on all sides, and then lifting the chest, and then exhaling it out in reverse. Emptying out through the belly, even engaging abdominals. Just gently press the lower back towards the floor, that functional breath that really synchronizes abdominals and diaphragm together as they work sort of collectively to pump this oxygen-rich blood throughout the system. It also helps to regulate these different parts of the body, opening up more space. And that's the power of our breath. Just taking 1 more round here. Exaggerate your inhales. Really expand the belly and the ribs and the chest. And take a long exhale to release it out in reverse. Engaging the abdominals, pressing the lower back down. Good. So you might even notice that this dynamic form of breath moves the body against the balls, and it's a really small movement of rocking. And that might be enough pressure, enough movement that you need today. If you want to move deeper, interlace the fingers behind the base of your skull. Just gently lift the head, tuck the chin to the chest, and point the elbows forward, like you're in a sit-up position almost. Keep breathing. And then press down through the feet. Lift the hips off the floor. Remember, this is optional. And begin to roll yourself. Maybe, a half inch down and a half inch forward. So rolling up and down. And then eventually rocking the torso left to right. So following your instinct and the intuitive movements that your body creates in this exploration, this exercise. There is no wrong or right. As long as you're here with this breath and with all of the felt sensations that this very moment has to offer. And it could be intense. So use your breath as a guide. If you find the breath is held or becomes short or choppy, then you can back off. You don't have to lift the hips. You can simply do what feels right. I'll be here 5 more rounds of breath, whether you're moving or not. Letting go of physical tension here in the fascia tissue, that seamless network of connective tissue that encases all of our muscles and bones and tendons, and even our organs. At the same time, releasing any emotional or energetic tension that's stuck, specifically in the upper back region. That energy tends to correlate with the heart. Those emotions sort of grounded in love and care and hope. So any sort of stress-related feelings, doing day to day, whether we're consciously aware of it or not, can be suppressed, stuck here in this part of the body. Unfortunately, if it builds, if those stresses or emotions or actions not taken aren't processed or released, it will build and contribute to more tension patterns, potential chronic conditions, can even contribute to injuries, and unfortunately to disease. One more full body breath. Deep inhale into the belly, ribs, upper chest and throat. Then exhale it out. Even opening the mouth. Get it all out. Good. If you haven't already, rock the knees. So lower the hips back to the floor and then begin to rock your knees left to right. Just roll yourself down just to allow the noodle or your balls to move up towards the upper back, the tops of the shoulder blades. Try and keep the head on the floor, and if you are using a blanket under the head, maybe make it a really thin layer of blanket so that the back of your neck doesn't torque too much. All right, you want to keep the neck as neutral as possible, but also use your judgment on what feels comfortable for you. And everyone's body is built differently. Right? Offering yourself some stillness, relax the arms off to the side. Full body inhales and full system exhales. And then if it feels okay, integrating movement through the arms with your next inhale, extend the arms up towards the ceiling and reach up through the hands, wiggle the fingers. Just applying a little different sensation and amounts of pressure across the tops of the shoulders here. Good. And then actively begin to lower the arms behind your head. Just keep breathing. Move slow. And release the arms and the hands with the palms turned up to the floor behind your head. And breathe. And to go a little deeper, press down through the feet, lift the hips up. Integrating movement to explore is totally optional. Swaying the hips left to right, or very minor movements up and down. You really don't have to move a whole lot to experience new sensation and different, layers of feedback as far as all the sensory feedback goes, right? And very slowly, begin to bend the arms at your elbows, lowering the arms still on the ground, just back out to the side. Palms are still turned up. Whether the hips are lifted or back to the floor, take about 3 more rounds of breath here. Other options, again, is to continue to move the arms in that same direction we just went. Inhaling them up to the ceiling, reaching up, and then lowering them back over your head. And eventually bringing them on the floor back out to the side. And a couple more breaths wherever you are. Notice any other parts of the body that are clenching or grasping, like toes or fingers, jaw. And send your breath there as well. Release all areas that are holding on to resistance. And with your next exhale, just bring the arms down if they were lifted. Full body inhale, breathe deep into the belly, expand the ribs, bring it into the chest and throat, and open your mouth with a ha. Let it all go. And take your time to slowly roll over onto either side of your body. Just grab your balls or just push them off to the side and rest in a fetal position. Take a couple of deep breaths there. Just notice what you notice. Sensation in the body is always shifting, especially when we move into another position. Even feelings are always shifting around. We just opened up a lot of various channels, so to speak, in the body. Not just to physically release congested tissue, but also released any suppressed emotions or even stuck feelings of different variety of varying degrees that were stuck in the body. And everyone's different. So just pause, always taking a moment to allow yourself to feel. Maybe even new thoughts surface, so allow yourself to see the thoughts. And then moving on, come back to your breath, take your time to roll onto your belly, all the way over. And on your belly, extend the arms straight out in front of you. And like you're superwoman, Superman arms. Just lift the head, but look down at the floor and relax the legs. You can shake out the legs or wiggle the hips side to side. Good. And then from here, zip up the legs. Now, consciously bringing them together, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Tuck the tailbone in so you'll feel the pelvis press down into the floor. Good. When you're ready, we're going to move with the breath, lifting both the arms and the legs at the same time. And your movements can be really small. You don't have to lift very high at all. Take a deep inhale to prepare. Exhale out through the mouth, tucking the tailbone in a little bit more, engaging the glutes. Use your next inhale. Lift the legs and lift the arms, reaching forward through the hands and back through the feet. And exhale, lower. Good. 4 more times. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. I'm going to slow it down. Inhale, lift. Maybe a little higher this time. And exhale, lower. It's conscious, controlled movement with breath. 2 more. You got it. Inhale, lift. Reach forward, reach back. Exhale, lower. Last one. You got it. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Good. With your next inhale, bring the arms behind you, interlace the hands behind the hips. Just look down at the floor. So continue to keep the neck neutral. Zip up the legs, so hugging the inner thighs in together. Tuck the tailbone in, pressing the pelvis to the floor. Good. Breathe here. Hug the outer edges of the shoulder blades in towards each other and then down the back. Lift your knuckles off of the hips. Draw the knuckles, the arms, the shoulders back behind you. And allow for that action of drawing the arms back behind you to eventually lift the chest a little higher. You got it. Keep breathing. Let's take 2 more breaths. Squeeze the shoulder blades in, squeeze the legs together. 1 more inhale, maybe lifting the chest a little more. And exhale, relax, release. Rest your cheek to the back of your hands. Wiggle the hips left, right. And even bend the knees and windshield wiper the lower legs back and forth. Deeply inhale, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. And lower the legs, separating legs, or the ankles actually, about hips width apart. And slide the hands in under the shoulders. Separate the fingers wide. Begin to hug the elbows in towards your ribs. Look down at the floor, and the chest is lifted. And use your next inhale to lift your nose, lift your chin, and then lift the chest, pressing down through the hands. Continue to hug the elbows in towards the ribs as you lift. And now keep breathing. Hug the outer edges of the shoulder blades in together and down the back. Lift a little higher. Maybe another set of ribs lifts off of the floor. 1 more inhale. And exhale, lower. Good. Nice, you guys. Relax for a moment. Rest the opposite cheek to the back sides of the hands. Wiggle the hips if that feels good. Opening the mouth to release any hot air, stale energy, letting it go. Good. And now from here, I'm going to roll on to either side of your body onto the forearm. So I'm just going to be on my right arm. You can do either side first. Align the elbow underneath the shoulder and separate the fingers wide. So we want to ground down through the palms of the hands, ground down through the forearm. Alignment wise, we're still sort of horizontally stacking all the joints, right? Hips over the knees, over the ankles, shoulders over the hips. Flex the feet. Good. Then from here, begin to roll the shoulders back and down. So you're going to feel the chest open a little bit more. Do it again, rolling the shoulders back and down. Pull the lower rib cage in. Engaging abdominals. So we're kind of working a lot here. We're building some shoulder and bicep, tricep strength here on the bottom arm. Engaging the abdominals to support the spine and support the ultimate alignment, right, of our posture here. If you want to move a little bit deeper, we're going to lift the hips off the floor. So now, fully energizing through the abdominals, that corset muscle, that deepest, innermost set of abdominal muscles there. As you're ready, bringing the top hand to the hip. Actively press down still through the palm and the forearm of the grounded arm and begin to lift the hips up towards the sky. Flex the feet and breathe. If it feels right, extend the top arm up and look up towards the ceiling. One more breath. And then release, lower the hips down. And just roll onto your belly and roll onto the other side. Okay. This side might be different. And it's always fun to try. So line it up again. Hips over the knees, over the ankles, that horizontal alignment. And then your vertical alignment with the shoulder over the elbow. Spread the fingers wide, rooting down through the palm and the forearm of the bottom arm. Good. And roll both shoulders back and down a couple times. Get a sense of what that feels like, how it starts to open the chest a little bit more. The ribs tend to jut out. So after doing that a couple times, pull the lower ribs back in. And turn that corset muscle on. Breathe here. And then bring the top hand to the hips. When you're ready, energize down through the forearm. Lift the hips up. Keep the muscle, the corset, turned on. If it's available to you, extend the top arm up to the sky and breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Good, you got it, you got it. One more breath. And release. Come down, back to the belly. Take your time. Child's pose. Lift the hips back. Spread the knees wider than the hips. So if you have a mat, maybe as wide as the mat. And just lower hips back into the heels. Extend the arms out in front of you. And rest the forehead down. Take a deep inhale in through your nose. And out through your mouth. And again, inhale, feeling the belly press against the thighs, bringing the breath all the way in towards your throat. And exhaling it out, even through the mouth to let it out, let it go. Softening the arms and the shoulders. And really even sending your breath to the space in between the shoulder blades, relaxing any tension there. Okay. And then as you're ready, lift the head. Slide the hands in under the shoulders, tabletop position, bringing the knees back in, aligning the knees under the hips, shoulders over the elbows, fingers are spread wide. Then turn the inner arms forward. So turning the inner arms forward, just like when we turn the palms up towards the sky, it creates an external rotation through the arms and shoulders. And that allows for the collarbones and the chest to subtly open up too. So turning the inner arms forward, and when you're ready, cat-cow. Inhale, relaxing the abdomen, draw the chest forward and the shoulders back. And with your exhale, round it out, pull the ribs in, round the upper back like a cat, and then let the head hang heavy. Take a few rounds and allow for your breath to drive the movement. Even close the eyes. Just tune in to what the movement feels like from the inside out, where the breath automatically goes. Good. And then as you exhale, at the end of your next exhale, come back to tabletop, neutral spine. Inner arms turned forward. Pull the lower ribs in and lengthen forward through the top of your head. At the same time, lengthen back through your tailbone. So already kind of visualizing these strong lines of energy moving in opposite direction, right? Up and down your back. So strong abdominals here. When you're ready, inhale, extend the right leg back. As you exhale, extend the left leg back. Plank pose. Lengthen back through the heels. So now just extending those line of energies, right? Back down through the legs and the heels. At the same time, the other line of energy moving forward up the spine all the way out through the crown of your head. If you have any wrist issues, you can always bring the knees back down to modify. Holding here for 3 more breaths. Plank pose, I know everyone's favorite. Now visualize and actually activate the outer edges of your shoulder blades. Draw them in towards each other and then down your back. Let it shake. 1 more breath. Good. Exhale. Release. Lower the knees if they weren't already there. Child's pose just for a couple of breaths. Relax your arms. Shake out your wrists if you need to. There's no other posture that stokes the inner fire, that engages your abdominals, that core central strength, and at the same time, upper back, shoulders, front of chest, really building strength in all these key muscle groups will help to alleviate pain, tension patterns that really come from the joints bearing too much stress. So when the muscles are stronger, muscles will absorb the stress, not the joints. And then as you're ready, inhale, come back to tabletop. Exhale any hot air out through your mouth. Walk the hands forward a couple inches and make some giant circles with the hips. Breathing deep. And go in the opposite direction as well. Good. And then slide the hands back under the shoulders. And then sit back into your heels. Won't be here very long. As you inhale, find your inner lift, and at the same time, actually lift, standing on the knees. Relax the shoulders back and down. Good. And now, step the right leg forward in a low lunge. On a proper low lunge, definitely pad your knee if you need to, especially if you're on a hard floor. Just check in with the alignment, make sure the ankle is underneath the knee. Good. If you have room to go, inch the right foot forward. And then sink the hips down and slightly forward. Exploring the stretch on the front side of the left hip, so you'll feel it. Remember, never force or push. Ground down through the balls and heels of the front foot. And then when you're ready, palms together. Then inhale the arms above your head, lengthening up through the sides of the chest. As you exhale, bring the arms out to the side. And then forward. Now cross the right arm under the left. The first variation is just to grab opposite shoulders, like giving yourself a hug. The left arm is on top. Then the second variation is to twist the forearms, intertwine the forearms, and press the right palm or the right fingers into the left palm. Point fingers up towards the ceiling, and with an inhale, lift the elbows up, trying to get them up to the same level of your chin. Keep breathing. Now actively draw the shoulder blades in and down your back. And as you do that, continue to lift up through your spine and reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Good. Our eagle arms here. Breathe. One more inhale. And as you exhale, nice and slow, release the arms. Shake them out. And then lower the hands to the inside of the right foot. You have a block, use the block. The block will be the wide way, placing the hands underneath the chest, and then roll onto the outer edge of the right foot, opening up the hips, stretching the inner thigh. Now, whether your hands are on the floor or on a block, turn the inner arms forward and hug the outer edges of the shoulder blades together and down your back. Optional to curl the left toes under and lift that back knee off of the floor. Okay, got it. One more inhale. And if the knee was lifted, as you exhale, lower it down and find a neutral position, bringing the right knee back to neutral. Take your time, tabletop. So we go in these really kind of baby steps, tabletop, and then sit the hips back into your heels. Lift up through the chest. Inhale, find your inner lift, and then stand up on the knees. Once again, maybe the hands on the hips help with balance. Keep breathing, and then step the left foot forward. So moving on to the opposite leg. And then you determine your edge here, scooting the left foot up a little bit more, and then shifting the hips forward and then down. Exploring the stretch on that right hip flexor there. Pad the knees, remember, if you need to. And just make sure the left knee, that front knee, is over the ankle or slightly behind it. And when you're ready, palms together to the heart with a deep inhale. Extend the arms up, lengthening through the ribs and the sides of your chest. And then exhale, arms out to the side. And this time right away, sweep the left arm under the right, grabbing opposite shoulders, so giving yourself a hug. This is the first variation, or your right arm is on top. And then the second variation is to intertwine those forearms and wrists, so pressing the left fingers or palm into the right palm. Point the fingers up, and as you inhale, lift the elbows up towards the chin. Exhale, drop the shoulders down and begin to hug the outer edges of your shoulder blades in and down your back. Good. Keep breathing. Full belly inhales the best you can. One more round of breath. And as you exhale, nice and slowly release the arms, shake them out of it, and lower the hands to the inside of that front foot. Take your time. If you have a block, the block is horizontal to fit both of your hands. Turn your inner arms forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and down your back, and then roll onto the outer edge of that front foot, opening up the thigh. Breathe. Remember, the abdominals are still engaged. Actively pull the lower ribs in. If it feels right on this side, you can curl the back toes under and lift the knee off of the floor. Just extending that line of energy back through the right leg and the heel. Nice. One more deep round of breath. And then exhale. If the knee was lifted, lower. Ground down through the front foot, coming back to neutral, and eventually tabletop position. Go slow and keep breathing. So notice during these transitions what the body feels like, what's going on. Align the shoulders over the elbows, hips over the knees, and move through a few cat-cows. Going even slower. And if the wrists are tired, you can always come onto the forearms as well and move through your cat-cows on the forearms. Letting your breath drive the movement. Good. And if you were on the forearms, come back to the hands. When you're ready, with an inhale, just sweep the right arm forward and up and open the chest to the right. And reach the arm back. Roll the shoulder back and down. Continue to reach the arm back, energizing back through the fingers. One more inhale. And as you exhale, lower that arm down to the floor. Inhale forward and up. And then exhale it back. Back to the floor, tabletop position. Opposite side, when you're ready, inhale the left arm forward and up. Open the chest to the left. Energize up through the hand, and then send that arm back. Roll the shoulder back and down. Keep breathing. One more inhale. Keep reaching that arm back. Exhale, lower it down. Sweep it around forward and up. Inhale. Again, lift the arm up. Keep breathing. And exhale, lower it down. And sink it back into your heels. Child's pose. You can stay in your child's pose for as many breaths. That feels good. Relaxing the arms, relaxing the upper back body, and even the neck. Or you can eventually just transition onto your back and set up for your final resting pose. And if you need a blanket, grab a blanket. If you are coming onto your back, straighten the legs even and separate them wider than the hips. Relax arms off to the side. Turning the palms up. And begin to tuck the shoulder blades in. Just bringing the shoulder blades in together a little bit more. And then relax, melting the back body down. Tuck the chin slightly down towards the chest. Just elongating the back of your neck. Just breathe. Breathing normally without trying to control the breath or breathe in any special way anymore. Just simply return to the space of witnessing the breath just as it is. Noticing whatever you notice, whatever surfaces as far as physical sensation goes, as far as feelings or thoughts go. Allow all those things to arise in your conscious presence and dissipate. Using the breath again as that focal point, just as it is, that anchor, that thread of breath, creating a sense of clarity, groundedness, and peace. Now just giving yourself permission to rest here in the center of your true nature, where there is acceptance, healing, and peace. And you can rest as long as it feels right, or eventually deepen the breath and allow the breath to inspire a little movement in the toes and fingers. Slowly bending one knee, then the other. Just going really slow. Coming back to the physical body and waking up once again. Maybe rolling over onto either side. Pausing there. And keeping the eyes closed. Gradually lifting yourself up into any kind of seat that feels right, with the head hanging heavy. Maybe bringing the palms together towards the heart in a gesture of gratitude, an honor for this body as it continues to move forward through this journey of life, of healing, adventures. I'm so grateful to be able to practice it with you guys. So thank you for bringing me into your spaces of your home, sharing your practice. I bow to the teacher and to the light that shines in each one of you. Namaste. Have a wonderful evening.